put a little video together here for streaming on StreetJelly, and I was talking to tech support there, and you know, it's just something that needs to be done. So here we go. This is really simple. This is just C310. It's a Logitech camera. It's got higher resolution. It's USB, so we just plug it in a USB jack. Almost any Windows PC is going to take it. I will tell you, there is one catch. If you've upgraded to Windows 7, because of the way they sign their drivers, you could have a problem. And I don't know if Logitech has a good fix. So here's the toy that matters today. This is it. This is an Alesis. It's a MultiMix 4. It's a wonderful thing. Has 2 onboard preamps. It has phantom power for condenser mics. Phantom power for condenser mics. Remember that. It's an on and off button. You have 2 preamps. You also have 2 of the 1/4 inch in, which is a wonderful jack. You have a button for actually a guitar line in or a bass line in. You push that button. So this is a super versatile recording and podcasting tool. It's not just a StreetJelly tool. You will never ever not need this thing. It's always going to be valuable for any musician. So it's a wonderful thing. And here we go. This is the way we're going to set it up for StreetJelly. It's really simple. We're not going to make a big deal out of it. Here again, an Alesis MultiMix 4. They have them in 8s and everything. MultiMix 4. You can actually find them cheaper, musician friends and Guitar Center sometimes. You can find them on Amazon. So it's a nice little tool. It's very nice for computing because it's only 6 inches wide. So just a simple setup here. The thing that I like about the Alesis, and there are other brands that do this, but a lot of them are cheap, so be careful what you get. Behringer has a MultiMix. This is a better product, honestly. So they're both USB digital compatible, which is nice. So we have to power this thing. No big deal. We'll give it some power. We'll of course need to connect it to the computer. So, like I said, the beauty of this thing is a USB in. Not a big deal at all. So we plug in a USB cable. I think everybody in our day and age knows how to do this. And of course, it's got a USB cable going to the back of it. So basically, that's it. We're connected to the computer now. We need a way to record. In this case, just because I have mic stands and stuff. I don't have anything here. We're going to take the ambient room sound with the mic. Not a big deal. If you have a mic stand, that's great. If you don't, any unidirectional mic. By the way, this will take XLR mics, so it ever grows with you. It will always be pertinent. So you know that's an XLR plug. But I'm going to go to a 1/4 because that's more amateur. And I want to mention these mics. These are unidirectional mics, $14 probably. You know, any kiddie store, any music store, you can get 80 mics for $10 and do the same thing. You know, you want something that's got a little bit of a good quality impedance, but you don't have to spend a fortune. So I'm going to use the second line in on this for this mic, and the reason that I'm doing that is because the other one is actually designed with guitars in mind, and we're going to go ahead and let that pick up ambient. So here I have the branded $12, truthfully, StreetJelly guitar. So we're going to use that for our demo here, just because. And the just because is I want to show you the electric hookup. So we're going to go ahead and take that in that mic in. We're going to go ahead and push the guitar in. Now if you had an acoustic guitar, you'd put it out and just hook up another mic. And I'll give you an idea of what I think of the sounds of this stuff as we go here. But basically, as you're looking at that Alesis box, you basically have 2 levels, and then you have pan. Pan is for stereo stuff, it's left and right. We're going to leave those pans center for what we're doing. Anything podcasting, whatever, you're not going to move them. You want them centered up. And you do want to use stereo mics. It just gives you a better sound. It's richer and fuller. We have equalizer. We have a low frequency and high frequencies. It's just what it sounds like. You know, your higher frequencies, your higher pitch. Your lower frequencies, your lower pitch. So, and we're going to kind of leave those centered for now too, and adjust them as we need to. You see the guitar line in button up here above this gain. Your gain, I want you guys to keep that at half or a little less than half, maybe even a third. And we won't go any farther than that to start. And so we're going to use these 2 1/4-inch plugs. We're not going to use the XLR cables. And then we have your level here. We're going to put that level at about a 1/4 to a 1/3, I would say. And I might even say with that gain, we'll go down to a 1/4 to start. All right, now we have a line in level, which would be, these 2 are both line ins. You could put anything in if you were piping music from your computer, background, backing tracks, things like that. You could put it in a line in. And then, of course, you would just adjust it to the mix to how much you need. Same thing, leave the stereo centered. Phantom power, you're not going to worry about now if you were using a condenser mic. Honestly, I would leave it off. Some mics don't take it well, most do, and it won't make a difference. But leave it off unless you know that you're using a condenser mic and you want to use it. And then, of course, you have your main volume.
The main volume is controlled by the computer when plugged in USB. It is important to make sure that in the properties all enhancements are turned off, especially noise reduction.
I'm going to go even maybe a 1/4 with this right now so that you're not overpowering your mix. And I'll show you some more on StreetJelly. I am on StreetJelly. Starting a broadcast, there's actually down here this little test button, and Tech put that on there so that you don't have to actually broadcast yourself where people can log in and see you sounding terrible. You can get a little soundbite sample of yourself. You're going to need to click the allow. You want to go into, now see, this is the window we're transmitting from. This is us on the video now, on this left side, and the video this one. So we're going to go ahead and open that up just because. And you'll see that there's a lag here. That's pretty typical. You might as well get used to it. Oh, he's still talking. So one thing you want to do, when you get on this window right here, we're going to go and click, we're going to right click right in the middle of this video screen, and we'll go to settings. This is probably going to be your easiest way. And we're going to go to the microphone first, and we're going to make sure that I'm grabbing this USB mic. You'll notice there are, on this computer right now, there's a Realtek high definition mic, there's a webcam mic, which is this C310. Most webcams are voice activated. They make a crappy sound, just so you know. You want to use something that's plug and play, a single mic, a USB mic. Costs more than a mixer. You'll never use it for anything else but the USB mic. So that's why I like the mixer. Anyway, so we go with the, we're going to go with this USB, which is our Alesis mixer with the multi-track. And we're going to call that good, and we're going to close it there, right? And we're going to check our volume here. We want to make sure that our send doesn't peak. If you can see this little meter right here. And I will try to overpower that on purpose, just because, just to make my point here. So if you see that meter, and you see that up in the red like that, when you come here, this thing is filling up to the top. You can guarantee by the time it gets over here, it's going to be distorted.
This thing is filling up to the top. You can guarantee by the time it gets over here, it's going to be distorted.
And so, you know, as you drag things from that point, the sound will be terrible. So we don't want that. We're gonna definitely make sure that we don't overpower that mic, overpower this meter. You want to keep this meter less, I would say halfway, so that the mash can peak 3/4 or just a couple bars from the end. If it goes all the way to the end, you're good. If it goes past the end, you're in distortion land. Two things that will make you distort: one, you feed signal to your mixer too hot, to the computer too hot, or two, you feed it to StreetJelly too hot. So this is going to stop most of that. Also, when you are on that settings screen, you want to make sure that you're using the right camera. In this case, I have two cameras. So, whoops, I'm back to where I was on the audio. In this case, I have two cameras. One's resolution is going to be much better than the other. One is the built-in one on this laptop, so I want to use the high resolution one. You want to do the best you can, look the best you can while you're doing this stuff. So now we've set up our sound. I have my guitar, and we're going to do the same thing with the guitar that we do. And what I'm going to do is try to take a sound bite for you guys. All right, so here is the functional machine, and hopefully we can hear some of what's going on. So here is the functional machine, and hopefully we can hear some of what's going on. Alright, so now I have a little bit of an infinite loop going here, so that's going to cause us some kind of trouble. Alright, so now I have a little bit of an infinite loop going here, so that's going to cause us some kind of trouble. But the idea is that you can see and hear your sound. Now what I'm going to do to stop this loop is I'm going to monitor the sound a different way. But that is your basic setup, and I'm going to monitor the sound in a way that it won't affect, you know, obviously, if the microphone can hear the television, it will keep picking up and go forever. It will keep redundantly, as a slow fade out, it will keep redundantly echoing what's going on. So, but I did want to show you that, you know, that it's transmitting through that way. So you can hear this screen, and there's a delay there. That delay allows you to find out what's going on. So now I'm going to look at some sound, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure that my sound is clean and clear. Basically, it should be pretty close. So with the guitar in, and usually you'd run your effects board or whatever, but with the guitar in now, in this case, I'm going to keep everything relatively low. Because the guitar is actually going to pick up a little better than the mic at a distance. If I had the mic stand close to me, it would pick up better. And I'm going to use the ambient microphone, but if you had an acoustic, you could use 2 ambient mics. 2 because it grabs a better signal, but 1 will work fine if that's what you have. The Alesis being the most important piece first, and then any kind of mic. And I'm just going to take a sample and make sure that it sounds okay. So you need to have some kind of good monitor set up so that you can hear the sound of what's going on. And you'll notice that I don't have anything peaking up here, so that I know I'm underneath that meter, and I'm actually on the low side of the meter, which is where I really like it. I do hear a little bit of a noise from the guitar, which is because the guitar is a little noisy. But other than that, I have a great setup. I'm just going to take the tiniest bit of gain, and basically I think I'm going to have my main volume at about a third. My guitar level's at about a half, and my microphone level, of course, is farther out. Is going to be pretty hot because it's picking up an ambient sound, and I want to balance it out. So here's what I'm going to try to do with that. Same thing, I don't want to peak. You see that meter is just now getting up there a little bit. We're just going to go ahead and see what's going on if I can find my guitar pick. We'll go ahead and see what's going on StreetJelly. At this point, because I've got the guitar lined in, I need to listen to what I'm doing. I'm going to switch my monitor. I'm going to monitor my feed, which is kind of another unique effect of this effects pedal, is that you can actually hear your mix going in, which is kind of nice. And you can always add effects and things later on. I mean, this is a basic rig, and it's going to work very well for most people to start out. So we're just going to call this the test. It's the name of the broadcast. Put something cool in there, like, you know, my hot rock show, or the blues show, or I'm feeling blue, or something that expresses what you're doing. And then go ahead and hit broadcast, and you'll see what happens. So now we can only see our window, which is our send window. And you'll be able to see your viewers coming on as they come on. You'll be able to see how many people are on here. It says viewers right now have 0. That's because a buddy of mine's on the other side, and I'll give you a second to look at some of that. And then basically you just play some. Here, let me give you an idea what this looks like from the other end. So this is Imogen family. There's some Newfie folk music. It's pretty cool stuff when you get right down to it. Anyways, so they're feeding live from Toronto, and I am an independent.